The most expensive cars in the world are on everyone's lips: luxury sedans, sports convertibles, luxury crossovers. They all update the annual cost ratings. And it would seem that it would be difficult to create an expensive car for a famous automaker. It is enough to use the most advanced technologies, add carbon, titanium, ceramics, more gold and diamonds to the interior inlay, and you can draw any space price tag you want. It is another matter to create the cheapest car. This task is already more difficult. It is necessary to reduce the cost of materials and production as much as possible, while the car must be more reliable than competitors in the same price category, otherwise they simply will not buy it. For the class of the most budget cars is the same struggle as for the title of the most expensive car. In this video, we will look at the cheapest new cars. Not surprisingly, of the countries producing the cheapest cars, India is the leader, with its almost 1.5 billion population. For the most part, the people are not rich, but they want to have at least some four wheels instead of a bicycle or motorcycle. It is under such a budget deficit that the Indian auto industry is trying. And not only Indian. Today, the Indian subcompact Tata Nano, produced since 2009, is considered the cheapest car in the world. And definitely one of the most famous and scandalous. Tata Motors has swelled about $1 billion into the development of this budget rear-engine and rear-wheel drive car. But it has not yet been possible to massively transplant a billionth India from motorcycles and rickshaws to nano. Sales have not met expectations. For the sake of the ultimate reduction in prices in the car, they saved on everything. Instead of a fifth door, there was a blank wall. Access to the trunk and engine was through a folding rear sofa. In the basic version, there was no stove, radio, power steering and brakes. One janitor and one side mirror were installed, and the wheels were fastened with 3 bolts instead of 4. Practically naked machine weighed about 600 kilograms, and a 624 cubic centimeters 2-cylinder engine has 38 horsepower and, paired with a 4-speed manual transmission, accelerated it to a maximum speed of 105 km/h. At the start of sales for Nano, they asked for 100,000 rupees, which is about $2,000. But due to the transfer of production from West Bengal to the state of Gujarat and the resulting shortage of cars, queues lined up for Nano, and the base price without taxes gradually rose to 143,000 rupees. Many customers were also scared away by cases of spontaneous combustion of cars in 2010. As a result, instead of the expected 250,000 cars per year, only 155,000 of these cars were sold in 2009 to 2011, and in subsequent years only 5,000 cars were sold. For the poor, the car turned out to be too expensive, and for slightly more affluent buyers, too cheap. Tata realized that it was time to save the Nano. And in May 2015, they introduced the second generation named Nano Gen X, trying to bring it closer to familiar cars. The body of the car was strengthened, the bumpers and lighting equipment were changed, a sham radiator grille was placed in front, and a tailgate lift was introduced. In the cabin, another instrument panel appeared, and the finish became better. Power steering, a stove and even air conditioning appeared. The engine and the base box are the same, but for the first time, a 5-speed automatic transmission was introduced as an option, which now accounts for up to 70% of demand and has to wait for 6 months. Nano Gen X with mechanics costs from $3,000 to $3,770. For the option with the robot you have to pay from $40.73 to $43.67, although even in this case it is still the cheapest offer in the world. Another Indian creation is the micro car, Bajaj Qute, produced in India since 2015. Formally, the car is certified as an ATV, which allows the manufacturer to circumvent modern safety requirements. Bajaj Qute has a compact 4-seat interior with minimal trim and a simple design. The machine is equipped with a single-cylinder gasoline engine with a volume of 217 cubic centimeters and a power of 13 liters. The motor is located above the rear axle. The torque is transmitted to the rear wheels through a motorcycle sequential gearbox. The curb weight of the Bajaj Qute is only 399 kilograms. The maximum speed of the machine is only 70 km/h, and the passport fuel consumption in the combined cycle is 2.8 liters per 100 kilometers. In India, this car costs about $2,000. The model is also exported to the markets of some countries in Asia, Africa, and South America. In Asia, Bajaj Qute has been officially on sale since 2016, although it costs 3 times more than in India. The starting price of the car is $5,000, but you need to pay extra even for the stove, the key for locking the cabin, and side windows. As in the basic configuration, on the windows there are only plastic transparent curtains. Maruti Suzuki Alto 800. This is a budget car, but an ordinary car with the usual front-wheel drive and engine layout. The motor itself is a 3-cylinder, with a volume of 0.8 liters and a power of 48 horsepower. Not much, but the small car itself, 3.4 meters long, in running order weighs a maximum of 725 kilograms. True, unlike the Gen X, the Suzuki Alto 800 does not have a robot. Even for a surcharge, there is only a 5-speed manual gearbox. But in the most expensive version, the Indian Japanese flaunts not only air conditioning, but also a driver's airbag. By the way, Nano still doesn't have it. This Indian-built Suzuki is the main competitor of the Tata Nano Gen X. The second generation of this small car for India has been produced since 2012 and tenaciously holds the title of sales leader in the local automotive market. It is noteworthy that in order to reduce the cost of production and the final price, each part of the new Suzuki Alto 800 assembled in India was lightened by 1 gram. At the same time, the enterprising Indians from Maruti also build assembly robots for themselves. A robot bought on the side costs about $20 million apiece, and one made on its own is exactly 20 times cheaper. Here it is, the power of rationalization thought. Without Renault Kwid Logan, not a single rating of the cheapest cars in the world is usually complete. But now another car will take its place. Recently, Renault has an even more affordable model. We are talking about a front-wheel drive hatchback Kwid. The car is based on a simplified version of the modular platform for a number of Renault-Nissan models. The crossover turned out to be very compact, but the manufacturer has already managed to declare that Kwid has the most spacious interior and trunk in the class. There is only one engine so far. A 0.8-liter 3-cylinder unit develops only 57 horsepower, but it can be combined with both a 5-speed manual and a robot. The price of the car is about $5,000. Moreover, the list of options will include a combination of airbags and a multimedia system with a navigator, which none of the best-selling competitors in India offers. By the way, it is possible that Kwid can get to Europe. True, under the Datsun brand, which can use the Kwid as a base for its new global crossover, though the price will be 3 times more than the Indian one. Another car on the list of the cheapest is the famous Korean old Daewoo Matiz, which was born back in 1997 and has been produced in Uzbekistan since 2001 to this day. Today it is not only one of the cheapest cars in the world, but also the most affordable new car in the CIS. Because in the standard configuration, it costs from $4,500 to $6,000. True, for a price spread of $1,500, this funny pop-eyed insect is equipped only with a 3-cylinder gasoline engine with a volume of 0.8 liters and a power of 51 horsepower. There are no pillows and ABS here, but in more expensive versions you can count on power steering, air conditioning, power windows on the front doors and even alloy wheels. Mobius II, an angular box with wheels, and the name Mobius II is an attempt by the African continent to build its own people's car, taking into account local realities. And the realities are simple: broken or completely absent roads, poor people, and the need to constantly carry something. Either this is the population itself, or all kinds of cargo. This means that we need a simple, cheap, and hardy car, like a rural cart. Based on this, the Kenyan company Mobius Motors, founded in 2009, proposed its own version of the car for Africa. Moreover, it was founded not by locals, but by Briton Joel Jackson, who moved to Nairobi, the capital of Kenya from London, and works as a business consultant in Africa. It sounds no less original, as, in fact, the creation of the company, produced since 2014, looks like. Cargo passenger Mobius II for 8 people or 625 kilograms of cargo itself weighs 1.3 tons and is built on a tubular space frame. Nothing superfluous, just another self-propelled square on wheels for transporting goods and passengers. Under the hood is an unnamed 1.6-liter gasoline engine with 86 horsepower, paired with a 5-speed manual transmission, and altogether this economy is even able to reach a maximum speed of 120 km/h. In the early days of the Mobius II, it was billed as the cheapest SUV in the world with an announced price of $6,000, but it quickly rose to $8,000. Mobius II has only front-wheel drive, although it has a rather high ground clearance of 26 centimeters. True, there should be no problems with cross-country ability. It's not scary to fly with acceleration off-road on such a car, and if it gets stuck, the passengers sitting in the back will take it out on their hands. Although against this background, the title of the cheapest SUV in the world would be more correct to write down for the Russian 3-door Lada 4x4, it has 4-wheel drive, lowered in the Razdatka, and 2 janitors. By the way, AvtoVAZ has long been studying the possibility of exporting its cars to Africa. Friends, write your comments on which of these cars you would agree to drive, and also write which car you have, and based on your answers, we will make an issue about the most popular cars.